Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's-A-Mii here, and today we're doing another Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing, plus handheld gameplay, plus early impressions for Bravely Default's Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch 2 unboxings and coverage like this, I have a ton of other videos unboxing a ton of other games on the channel as well as the console itself. So if you like the video, I would appreciate you liking the video, but also subscribing. Let's get into it. Alrighty folks, here we are with Bravely Default. I have been wanting to play this game forever. As you can see, I still have a 3DS copy here that I never got around to playing, but Bravely Default is one that's been on the backlog for many years now, and eventually somewhere at some point in the Switch generation, I was like, oh, they're gonna remaster this game, I'm sure. And here we are, finally. It has a release on Nintendo Switch 2. They've also added some new modes, like there's MouseCon mini games, apparently, from what we've seen in the Treehouse footage. So excited to check this out. I wanted to just kind of compare the 3DS box to the Switch 2 box here. This is a game key card as well. That is worth noting. This is maybe one of the more egregious ones. I also do want to give a huge thank you to Square Enix. They actually sent me a review code for the game. I already had it pre-ordered. I was going to buy it physically to begin with, but huge thank you to them for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate that from them. But let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm sure, as you all know, this is a game keycard release here. This is going to require an 11 gig download for Bravely Default. A 3DS remaster is stuck on a game key card. A little unfortunate there, certainly. This is one that I feel like really should have been on a cartridge, but also if the only option for publishers is 64 gigs, well, then this would be harder to justify, I guess, for a company like Square Enix, especially since they price it at $40. This is, next to Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, the only game at that price point right now, at least physically, so they wanted to keep it cheaper. I suppose they could have passed those expenses off to the consumer and made it like a $50 or even $60 game, but they opted to go for a $40 game key card. So just kind of comparing these spines here. Of course, the 3DS was all uniform and white. The Switch 2 one, I actually really like this black and just white text in that font. I think that looks really clean. Also, I know people like to meme on the Team Asano, just white text underline font games. However, I actually think this box art in particular is really good. I think there's something about like, just the black background and the character here that just looks really nice. I don't know. Maybe it's a little played out at this point, but I think this one has the one that kind of set the trend of this style of game from Square Enix. I think it looks really nice. Here we have the back of the box with the, that's the European and I think Japanese box art right there. They say, the story of light and shadow that never fades is reborn, beautifully remastered in HD, strategic turn-based battles, new features and content. And of course, it does have the game keycard warning here, supports the Pro Controller. Pretty excited to check this out and do some handheld for you, as well as I want to try out the MouseCon modes. I haven't actually played a game with the mouse controls yet. Maybe I did with Rune Factory by the time you're seeing this. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead and crack this open with my trusty Walmart box knife here. This is one that I probably will not get a full playthrough in for this month because there's just so much coming out, but I did want to bring a video to you all, just opening it up and checking it out. So here we have the box opened up for you. Let's see, Square Enix. Come on, what do you got for me? Okay, there's actually inside art. No manual or anything, but there is a little 10th anniversary inside art for this game. I actually really like that. Yeah, that's really cool. Wow, I guess it's past the 10th anniversary, right? This game came out in like 2012, didn't it? On at least in Japan, right? So 10th anniversary celebration for the game here. Here is the game keycard itself with a little key in the top right, as well as the back of the cartridge. Might as well show that off as well if you're, for some reason, really need to see the back of it. And we'll go ahead and pop out the box art here just to take a look at how it's looking without the red completely destroying it. Yeah, that's really good art. I really, really like this art. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the Team Asano Bravely Default art style. I think it looks fantastic, especially in 2D. When it's translated to the 3D chibi models, it loses a little bit for me, especially seeing it running like 4K. It's a little jarring, but I'm going to pop this into the Switch now, and we will see what that icon actually looks like. Okay, there is the icon on the Switch 2 menu for Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD. Once again, it is a game keycard. If you buy it physically, there is going to be an 11 gig download for this version of the game. Overall, I was expecting just white on the inside, so shout out to Square Enix for at least having some inside art for us for Bravely Default. I'm going to go play a little bit of the game, maybe try out the mini games with the mouse controls, and bring back some handheld gameplay and early impressions for you. Let's switch over to that. Okay, I just played the game for about 90 minutes, testing out the MouseCon mini games as well as the actual main game itself, and let me say this. I have not been disappointed with anything I've played so far on Switch 2. Yakuza 0, Street Fighter, Rune Factory. However, Bravely Default is a game that I was talking about even in this video, how it might be a while before I get to it. Yeah, I'm gonna play this sooner. I really like this game. I'm already really invested in the characters. I love me, kind of, more traditional JRPG story. You have the 4 crystals. This is very, very much Final Fantasy. And, just from the very little I've experienced with the combats, I'm already in. It's been a while since I played a more traditional turn-based RPG like this, so I think it might just be hitting the right itch or something. But this entire mechanic of Brave and Default, where you can default for a couple of turns and build up your Brave points, and then kind of unleash several attacks at once. You could even go into the negatives, at which point the enemies could go and attack you even more. It lets you really choose how you want to play. I know there's a lot more to this game that I have not seen yet. I haven't even gotten to the job system yet, which I know is apparently really robust and Bravely Default, but even just the core Brave and Default mechanic, I think is going to be a lot of fun from the little bit I tried. But immediately playing the story, I was into the characters, Tiz and Agnes. At first, the character Tiz, I was like, this guy sounds a little familiar, and I looked up Tiz voice actor, and I was like, oh, he voices Adol in Ys, which I got into last year, and then I was like, oh, he voices Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan. I was like, I know this voice sounds familiar. The voice acting is really good. I'm assuming it's the same voiceover from the original 3DS version, but it certainly holds up, more than 10 years after the game originally released. The voice acting so far is really, really good, and from the little bit I've had developed of the characters, I'm enjoying them and the story and setup as well. Visually, the game looks, it's a little jarring because it is just the 3DS game, but they, cleaned it up a little bit, made it run, and I believe it's running in 4K, but it still looks like a 3DS game. I am of the belief that it's fine to have games that look like this on a modern platform. Could it have used a full remake? I mean, I guess maybe, but honestly, I'm okay with it being more traditional and, staying true to its 3DS roots with its art style, because if you change it too much, I mean, then it's just something, an entirely different beast, right? And it would be a much bigger undertaking, and it would have been a whole thing, $60, that kind of thing. So it being more of a simple remaster honestly doesn't bug me. The backgrounds, I mean, this has been a thing for Bravely Default forever, but the backgrounds look really good in HD. That first city you're in, when you let it go AFK for a second, it zooms out and gives you the full view of it. Oh my goodness, it looks so freaking good. I know this is one of the better looking 3DS games from back in the day, but seeing it in HD, it certainly does pop. And yeah, I was saying this is going to be a game I get to a little bit later. No, I'm going to play this game as soon as I can, as soon as I get done going through all of these games and these unboxings. This alongside Mario Kart World and maybe more of that Yakuza Online mode. Those are going to be like the 3 I think I really grind. Rune Factory I do want to get to very soon. There's too many games to play right now, but I guess that's a good problem to have. Hopefully we end up getting Bravely seconds, and then I can play Bravely Default 2. I have a lot of Bravely to catch up on. Let's talk about the MouseCon games. This was what I was most excited to check out in this video, but I ended up enjoying the opening hour of the game so much. So we have 2 mini games in this game that really make use of the Switch 2 mouse controls, which I think is why this isn't on PlayStation and Xbox and PC. It's kind of weird it's not multi-platform. Maybe it'll come eventually with these features removed, but we have a game corner now on the home screen that presents you with 2 mini games. We have the Luxon Cheer Rhythm Catch, as well as the Ring a Bells Panic Cruise. So both of these can be played single player or co-op, depending on how you want to do it. I mean, it's not advertised as co-op. However, you could just give your friend or whatever the other Joy-Con and play it that way as a co-op experience, especially the Panic Cruise. But let's talk about the Rhythm Catch. So at first I was like, what is happening here? Eventually I was like, oh, this is actually pretty basic, and it feels a little slow. It's easy to let your cursors get swapped, and what I mean by that is the right one will be on the left side of the screen, the left one will be on the right side of the screen. There is a way to just recenter them very quickly. Having 2 mouse cursors on the screen at once and using them to kind of, fill in the rhythm bubbles that pop up or connect them when the green line comes up to get a score on that. It's a different type of control than I've ever really used before, having 2 cursors at the same time. It's like if you were using 2 Wiimotes or something, which that never really was a thing. So it took some getting used to at first. This mode in of itself seems fine. It's not like the greatest rhythm game or anything. However, playing it definitely has me excited for the potential of future rhythm games on the platform. Something more like in Osu or, originally Elite Beat Agents, I think would work great with the Joy-Con mouse. But it's fine. Currently, there's only 1 level available for me. I need to play through more of the story to progress and unlock harder difficulties and stuff like that and unlock more songs. It looks like there's a decent amount of things to go for if you want to replay this over and over, because you can play it as different characters And then it looked like there were quite a few unlocks to get here as well. This mode is fine, but what I enjoyed much more was the Ring of Bells Panic Cruise. This felt like a Wii Play minigame. And I mean that with the most respect. I truly enjoyed Wii Play when I was younger as a technical showcase of what the Wiimote could do. This feels like it would be in some sort of Nintendo Switch 2 package from first-party Nintendo, showing off what having two Switch 2 Joy-Con mice at the same time means in terms of gameplay. So in this one, you're piloting an airship, and you just have both of your mouse cursors on the screen, and you're following commands from your party on what switches to press, what little toggles to flip on and off. You have a gear that you need to pull up or down to move the ship up or down. There's a wheel in the middle that you can turn left or right to steer the ship. It's basic, don't get me wrong, but it's such a nice proof of concept of what having two Joy-Con mice can do for something like this, for mini games like this. There are enemies that pop up and they give you a fly swatter that you have to swat the enemies with, or in one case, literally just a fly, but also these like ghost pirates and stuff. So very Mario Paints in that regard, if you've been waiting for that to come back so you can, swat the fly in that. I like this. I think this is a fun mini game. I'm excited to unlock the other levels once I get more through the actual story of Bravely Default. They are locked behind that. And once again, this is something that you can play co-op. I didn't really have any trouble doing it just by myself, keeping track of everything going on. So if you play it with another person, it'll probably be even easier than it was here for me, but there are different difficulties that you get in, more stages, so we'll see how that goes in the later levels. Once again, this isn't like the most in-depth minigame or anything. It feels more like a tech demo to show what it actually can do. However, as a nice bonus to this remaster of what was already considered a great 3DS game, I think it's a fun bonus and just a nice little thing to try out on launch day if you want to see what having, the two mouse can really do, like what that means for future game design. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what other developers use that for. So yeah, really enjoyed my time with Bravely Default HD tonight. I'm going to be playing more of this game as soon as possible once I get the other unboxings done. Cannot wait to play through more of the story. As always, let me know what you think of Bravely Default HD Remaster in the comments down below. Are you planning on picking it up, or maybe you already did? Of course, I would appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel for more Nintendo Switch 2 unboxings and gameplay and early impressions of all of the launch titles. I'm doing every single launch title on the channel over the next week. Follow me on Twitter at BotoxGames. Check out my Nintendo news channel at BotoxGames as well. And until next time, peace.